All right. Welcome, guys. We are starting without wasting time. So if you can hear me, um, just drop a comment in the section in the chat box and let me know that you can hear me. Just simply type, "I can hear you." So once I see that you can hear me, we'll get right into the business of the day, right? So, like I said, if you can hear me, just okay, John, say I can hear you. John, how are you doing? Welcome. All right. So, I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm still a little bit, having fever. But like I said yesterday, the show must go on, and we must keep showing up and all that. So what we've been doing for the past few days is, we are looking at how we are selling different products and how you can do the same, right? On day one, we looked at, and again, this challenge is going to be in parts. The series is going to be in part. On day one, we looked at how Cowbell became a sold out product. Yesterday, we look at how we are selling Dell Incomes Academy, the whole 9 yards. And on today, we'll be looking at how we sell the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man digital product. So like we said, this is going to be in part series, and today is the part 3. And on this part 3 today, we are looking at how are we selling the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man digital product, right? And the most important thing in all of this thing is that because it's in series, so what that means is that each of this training, they all tie to each other, right? So what we learned yesterday on how we are using to sell the Daily Incomes Academy program, you're going to pick some things from them and then also, impute it into what we are going to be learning today. So each of them can be an independent training that you can look at and use it to sell what it is that we showed you how to sell. But each of them are also tied together, which means you can pick something from How to Sell Daily Incomes Academy and then apply it to how to sell your How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man. So the question now is, when we got this product, when we made this product, right, and we finally know that we have a product in our hand, before we went to the market, what are the things that informed how we decided to start selling this product, right? And here is the process we went through, right? This thing here shouldn't be the Daily Incomes Academy programs versus other. This thing here should be the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man programs offer versus the other, right? We are looking at, which is fundamentally which everyone should always look at when you are trying to sell a digital product. You constantly need to ask yourself and say, what is what is the already existing problem that people are trying to solve, right? So these are like the key 5 questions to ask ourselves to be able to come up with our offer, and that also informed how we decided to sell that product and how just in a space of months in 2020 we were able to sell 2,193 pieces of that product, right? So what were the questions that, at the end of the day is like, what is this already existing problem that people are trying to solve, right? You have a product, you have this digital product. The question you should ask yourself is, what is the already existing problem that people are trying to solve that this your product could solve, right? So the already existing problem is that people really, 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 all the young ladies, as long as they're from like 23, 25, when women were born, right? So we'll be going over all these problems, right? One by one, like starting with this one, starting with people trying to solve the problem, right? So this existing problem you're selling a digital product for, right? Are people already trying to solve that problem, right? And you need to understand that, women, when since the time they were born, as they get older, women live in fantasy world, right? Women by default tend to live in an ideal world in their head, in their imagination. And all of them will tell you that they need a Prince Charming to come and marry them. All of them will tell you that, they want the guy to be fair, tall, dark, chocolate, 6 foot, six pack, lives in a mansion, drives the finest car, is the most beautiful, the most handsome boy ever. That is their dream, right? And I don't know why every lady seems to have that same dream. In when it comes to men, men's own problem is every man wants to be rich, right? But for ladies, they believe that there is one Prince Charming somewhere who is going to marry them. And it doesn't matter how ugly a girl is. All of them believe that they should marry the best man out there, a very wealthy rich man that is handsome, that will not cheat on them, that will take care of them, that will worship the ground they walk on. That is what they believe. And because women by default live in this fantasy world, they do everything humanly possible to be able to achieve that their fantasy dream, right? So, and how are they trying to solve this problem of being able to marry exactly the kind of man that they want to marry, right? How are they trying to solve it? A lot of times, we simply go, as you can see here now from Google, they go there and put in how to meet and marry a rich man online because they've now realized that within their, see, again, like I said yesterday, remember that marketing is not you trying to sell people what they don't want. Marketing is basically you trying to convince people that what you have is the best option for that thing they want. Don't forget that. So these people are already trying to solve this problem by themselves by coming to Google and be typing, like in all over the world, about 380 millions of them per seconds are searching, how can I meet my Prince Charming? How can I meet a fine boyfriend? How can I date a rich man? How can I marry a rich man? And in Nigeria here, 24 million of them are already trying to solve that problem for themselves, right? And when they come to Google, they look for solution to this thing, and a lot of times, they fail. They don't get, ideally that thing that they want. So the next question is, how are they now solving it, right? Because remember, when they come to this Google here to search for this thing, what they will get are a bunch of things that won't solve that problem for them. But it is very important that you work with this data that is in Google is showing you here. Because what that does is it reinforces their belief that they can actually find a way to meet and marry a rich man online. That is what this data is showing you. That 24 million active young Nigerian girls believe already that they can actually come online and meet their Prince Charming online. Because if they do not believe, they won't be using that keyword, how to meet and marry a rich man online. It is there in the Google. So that is how they are trying to solve that problem. And that is one thing we understood, that these people are already trying to solve this problem by themselves by coming to Google to search how to meet and marry a rich man in Nigeria, right? And when that fails, what is the next thing they do? How are they now solving it? So they go to Google, they go to type out to meet and marry a rich man. They are not seeing exactly what it is that will solve that their problem for them, right? They feel like, oh, there could be more. These things I'm seeing on Google are giving me 10 different steps to follow, how to dress, how to blah, blah, blah. These things are not solving my problem, right? It's not, I don't feel like I'm achieving that my dream. And the next thing they now do is that they now take laws into their own hands, which is now the second thing, remember, they are doing, which is now how are they solving it. And remember, this same thing is the same core principle that human beings pass through whenever they have a problem and they are trying to solve them. Remember what I told you here today, that these training are going to be in series and each of them can be independent, but each of them you can pick something from here and add it to sell whatever it is you're selling. Today, we are looking at how we are selling the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man product. I'm taking you through the steps. I'm showing you the templates we're using, right? And so, first thing is that, are they trying to solve the problem? Yes, they are trying to solve the problem. There is already a very big problem that they have. They live in their fantasy world. They want to meet and marry a rich man, and they believe that they deserve that. So they come online to search. But what they are seeing online is not giving them the solution. So this next level now, which is now the second question, and all these questions is something you must ask yourself and know the answer to whenever you want to sell any product online, which is, what is the already existing problem that I'm trying to solve, right? And are people trying to solve this problem? If people are not trying to solve it, there's no market there. You're not going to make money, you will struggle. Number two is how are they solving it? Number four is how much are they spending to solve this problem that they have? Number four is it profitable to people solving this problem for them? So which means they are trying to solve this problem. There is a certain way they're trying to solve it. How much are they spending to solve that problem? And the people providing the solution to them to solve their problem, is it profitable to them? And lastly, you now look at what is the biggest demand and supply gap in this, markets that these people are trying to use to solve their problem. And we've looked at number one, are they trying to solve it? Yes, they are trying to. They're on Google trying to solve it, but they are getting disappointed. They're not getting the answer they want. Number two now is how are they now solving it when they can't seem to get the answer or the solution via Google? They now come and they start going to Shiloh. And you can see here now, this person says, I went to Shiloh 2019 and prayed for a husband and kept a date for my wedding. My bride price was paid that same exact day. The people that want to go and pray for husband at Shiloh in 2021 is starting on the Tuesday, the 17th. Don't be discouraged. God will turn all your mockery to a testimony. So, because women want to be in charge, they want to feel like they are in charge in solving their problem for themselves, or meeting and marrying exactly the kind of man they want to marry. They are trying to solve it. The first way I've already showed you, it's not working. It's not giving them the result they want. They now resort to another level, which is how they are now solving it presently now. So this problem you're trying to solve for them, this product you have, the how to meet and marry a rich man that you are selling to them, you need to understand already how are they solving it already at the moment. How are they solving it already? They are going to Shiloh. They are going to join Tinder. They are going to join a White African Male, blah, blah, blah. All these group and all these apps that will allow you to meet foreigners, to meet white men, to meet rich men, and all those things. They are joining elite matchmaking services, right? They are going to Shiloh and all those stuffs, right? And that is how they are trying to solve this problem. But the thing is that, is it possible to solve this problem like this? The answer is, of course, yes. There are several people who have met their husband through these elite matchmaking services, right? Through Tinder, through Bubble, or whatever, matchmaking services that is out there. And there are people, of course, who are still getting married by going to their church program and fellowship and all those things, are praying for husband, right? But that something is possible, which is what I now want you to understand, because if you understand all these things, so you will begin to apply it in your marketing, and then you will see how you start to make money. When you start having conversations with people, when you start shooting your creatives, when you start doing everything. So that something is possible is not enough. If it is possible to solve your problem of meeting and marrying a rich man by going to Shiloh, the next question now is which you're going to be asking them when you start having conversation with them, or when you start dealing with them, or in the kind of write-up you're going to be making, or in the kind of creative you're going to be using, is what is now the probability of you using this method to solve that your problem? And the probability is less than 1%. So if 1 million people go to Shiloh to pray, less than 1% of them will actually meet their man through that prayer or that church program. If 1 million people go and start using all these elite matchmaking services like Tinder and the rest of them, or Facebook dating, whatever, less than 1% or 0.05% of them will meet their husband through that way. So because that something is possible does not make it probable the best way to solve it. There is possibility and there is probability. There is a possibility that you can win $1 million via playing lotto, or via playing what is it called, gamble. But the probability of you winning it is less than 1%. So women now understood this thing that, we are trying to solve this thing by going to church and joining all these apps and all those things, but the probability is less than 1%. I've been on this app for years and I've not still been able to meet and marry a rich man, right? So the next question you now ask yourself is, so they are frustrated and they are stuck with the solution that the market is providing to them at that level, right? And they are struggling with it because that solution is not the perfect solution for them, right? Which is why you are now selling them this how to meet and marry a rich man that solves their problem perfectly, and you will see how. So the next question is, how much are they spending already to solve this existing problem for themselves, right? How do they do that now is that they've decided in their mind, all of them, any young lady wants to meet and marry a rich man. They now decided in their mind, I want to meet and marry a rich man, but this Shiloh thing, going to Shiloh to pray, is not going to work for me. It's not working. I've been going to Shiloh for the past 5 years. There is possibility that can work for me, but the probability is less than 1. I want to be in charge. I want to feel like I'm in charge. So what again do I do? They start hanging out in expensive restaurants, going to private clubs, right? And they are spending so much. See, if you go to Shiro, there is Shiro here in Lagos on the island. If you go to Shiro, for you to be able to have a table at that restaurant, you must spend minimum of 40,000 naira. If you go there, all our Lagos buddies are there, all our young girls are there, spending 40,000 naira per table. If you go there, if you're not spending anything, even if it's 39,000 naira, they're not going to allow you to have a table in the restaurant. But why are women spending that 40,000 naira to be able to have a table at the restaurant? Because they know that the kind of men they want to meet and marry hang out in that restaurant. It's usually big boys, people that have money, expatriates, white men, foreigners, Lagos big boys that hang out in this restaurant, right? They go to private clubs and private hotels. You see women that will just come to Transcorp Hilton or Eco Hotel, lounge and bars and all those things. They take themselves out there and they are forming, working class, whatever, forming business, spending that money. So they're already spending. You see them going to church to suicide of 100,000, 50,000. You will see your pastor will give an altar call and say, those that wants to get married before December, blah, 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 come and suicide of 100,000. Those women will come out and sow that seed. They are spending heavily on their fashion. They are doing cosmetic surgery. They are spending money on their physical appearances, right? They are paying 30K for private services on how to match make 100K. They are already spending heavily. In fact, these people in the market, the people we are looking to sell at, are already spending anything from 30K to 100K trying to solve this problem for themselves on a regular basis, right? And so what that means is, if you're now going to start doing your targeting, you should be looking at people who are already trying to solve the problem. Remember, marketing is not trying to sell something to someone, something he doesn't need. Marketing is basically you trying to convince people that what you have is the best solution to that problem they are trying to solve. So what that now means is that in all your marketing endeavor, you should be looking out to people who are already spending money trying to solve this problem. You don't need to go and be convincing anybody who has never spent any money in a quest to be able to, attract the kind of man this person wants. If you see somebody that is too stingy to spend 20K, 10K, 50K to buy cream to make his skin glow, to be able to be attractive to quality men, why are you selling the person how to meet and marry rich man products? He's not going to buy it. If you see somebody that is wearing the Maria Maka gown and you ask, no, the person of course still wants to meet and marry a rich man, but he doesn't have that desire, that strong desire to spend money to solve that problem. You need to understand something, that someone has a problem is not enough reason for you to try to sell your products to them. That person must have a strong desire also to solve that problem. And you need to begin to look at the indications that points to the facts that this person has this problem, but this person is also trying to solve this problem. Very, 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 very important, right? So these are the kind of people that you should be looking out for, when you're already when you are selling this, your how to meet and marry a rich man problem. Who are these kind of people? People who are, number one, are already trying to solve the problem for themselves. In your advert, in your ad copy, in your conversation with them on WhatsApp, you try to find out if this is what they're already trying to solve. You find out also how are they solving it and what has been the challenge they are having, what has been the struggles they are having with it, and also like how much. Try to make sure you're attracting people who are already spending money trying to solve this problem, right? If somebody has already sold seed of 100,000 or 50,000 in church and didn't end up meeting and marrying a rich man, he will joyfully give you 20K for your digital product. What is 20K to this person? If somebody will go to Shiro and spend 40,000 naira for a table to be able to just sit beside a rich man who there is no probability that that man will say hi to her, what makes you think that person can't give you 20,000 naira joyfully? With ease, safe, with speed of light, safe. The person will give you that 20K with speed of light, right? So these are the things you need to begin to understand. If somebody is already spending money to go to private club, private lounge, if somebody is trying to take care of herself by the kind of creams they are using, this person is already 24, 25, 28, 30, the person will be willing to listen to you. So you use all these things that we've been through to call out exactly the kind of people who you are trying to sell, because they are the one that actually needs the product, right? And so the next question is, is this thing, this problem these people are trying to solve for themselves, is it profitable for people who are already solving this problem for them? Of course, it's very profitable. There are a lot of churches have a special arm for single and searching ministry. In fact, there are some full churches that is built around single and searching. There are churches that are built around relationship alone, right? And when I created this product in 2020, I went online to search how are people solving this problem for these people making money already. And I saw that there is a guy called Eden Pagan who created a product on dating and all that called Double Your Dating. And as you can see here, he said that from Christian heavy metal band, he used to be in band, all these musicians that are band group and all that, to $100 million information product empire. This guy, Eden Pagan, has made $100 million selling services in this market to people who want to meet their partner, who want to meet the love of their life. They want to meet exactly the kind of person that they want to meet. This person has made $100 million solving the same problem that you want to solve. So what that means is that there is so much money in this market for you to make, right? There is money to be made in this market, right? If someone is profitable, in fact, literally everybody who is selling any kind of product, any kind of services in this market of how to meet and marry a rich man, how to meet your partner online, how to meet the kind of man you want, how to meet the kind of woman you want is profitable, very profitable for all of them. Because again, why is it profitable? Because number one, these people are already trying to solve this problem by themselves, but they are not succeeding. They are not feeling in charge. Number two is that they're already trying to solve it the crude way. It's not working for them. They're already spending so much money in all these solutions that are not even working for them. And so the next thing you need to do now, you need to ask yourself is now, what is now the biggest gap? What is now the biggest supply and demand gap in this market? In all these solutions that exist in the market, what is the biggest supply and demand gap that I can, rely on, that I can take advantage of and use it to sell my own digital product? Number one is that they rely on chance. So when someone is going to Shiloh to pray, he's relying on chance that God will answer his prayer, right? He is also relying on chance that he has to pray and she has to wait until God answers his prayer, until one man appears from somewhere. And they don't like it, they hate it. Number two is that they will have to wait. Like if you go to Shiro and spend 40,000 naira, you will have to wait until a man sits beside you and say, hello, how are you doing? They hate that kind of situation. They want to be in charge. And you don't blame them. Anybody that have any valid dream wants to be able to be in charge of making that dream happen, except for women when it comes to how to meet and marry a rich man. They don't feel like they are in charge. They are not in control. And that is the third thing. They want to be in control. They want to be able to say, okay, my goal this year is that I want to be able to meet and marry a rich man. And I want a solution. I want a service that is going to put me in control to make sure that my dream happens. Right? Which is why now we now created the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man product, which is now why all these things I've shared for you will inform your strategies, will inform your trick, will inform your principles that how you're going to be using to sell this product like wildfire. You are going to be telling them that there is a product. I know what you've tried to do. I already know that you're trying to solve this problem for yourself, right? You're searching everything online, how to meet and marry a rich man. You are joining singles group on Facebook, wherever. It is not working. In fact, if I actually even went further to try to go and start praying for a husband, are you praying for a husband to do this and for God to give you a husband? You are going to Shiloh, you are sowing seed, you have even downloaded Tinder, and it's still not working. In fact, you're already spending money to look good for this kind of man that you want to attract, but the man is not forthcoming, right? Then I have a product that will make you totally in charge, that will make you be in control. Unlike all these other things that you've tried, that you've been failing with, and this thing is guaranteed to work for you, right? So you see the way I phrase this thing. So you can even in your write-up or even in your video advert or even in your image advert, you can be, are you praying for a husband? Are you tired of waiting of praying for a husband? What if I show you the easiest way to meet and marry the kind of person you want to marry? You see, like now you realize their core frustration and how you can take advantage of that and sell this product like wildfire, like we are selling it using these same strategies, these same principles that I'm just been sharing with you. You see, when you speak to someone, they feel like you understand them. Your video advert or maybe your image advert can just be, have you ever prayed for a husband? What if I tell you that there's an easier way for you to get the kind of husband you want? Click on the link below to find out. You see how simple this thing is and how powerful it is. We are calling out these people. Your creative can just be, do you think you can meet your ideal husband online? What if I show you how to do that and you meet somebody online that will actually marry? Framing something like that. Because again, mind you, a lot of ladies are already actually online trying to post nice pictures, post nice videos in hope that one guy will see it and like it and send them a DM. But it's not just working. But there is a method to the madness, which is what now your digital products provides. And as you can see here now, from all these things, from all these key questions that we've asked and provided an answer to them from the beginning till now, you will see how you can begin to change your messaging, change your communication to begin to attract exactly the kind of people that will buy these products without struggles with you, right? So this is, the thing that we used. This was the marketing playbook that we used to sell that product. We're still using to sell that product. This is the marketing template. But in all of this now, the next question now is now going to be, yesterday we talked about your sales funnel, right? Because remember, all your digital products, of course, all of them will pass through a funnel. And of course, we already created the sales letter for you, which is now your website. That one has been taken care of for you. And where you need to do the work for yourself is in this creative, which I just shared with you how you can use this problem, these questions and answer we've done from stage one, till now, how you can provide answers to that questions and begin to use it to, track people on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, everywhere by simply going over that key 5 questions that we just asked. And let me show you something. Let me try and see if I can show you something. So, what kind of creative should you be using? A creative that calls out exactly, what they've been trying to do, the issues, their frustration, like I've just explained to you, and I gave you an example, or a creative that represents the end goal for them. That is going to be your video advert or your image advert. Your advert should be something that represents the end goal for them, what their life will be when they have achieved that thing, they can have married that kind of man that they want to marry. Let me share one of the adverts that we are using. Let me share one of them with you so you can see the video. Let me share it with you. Let me share it with you. Windows, is it here? Is it this one? Okay, let me share it so you can see. So this is one of the videos Okay. So so we are back. So if you can hear me, just type in the comment section. If you can hear me, let's continue from this exact place. If you can hear me, just type, I can hear you in the comment section. So if you can hear me, just type, you can hear me in the comment section. Let's, wrap this up with, okay, Benny say, I can hear you. So we are already at the last, stage of this, which is, what kind of creative should you be using for this, how to meet and marry a rich man. And I was trying to share the kind of creatives, the kind of video adverts that you can use before the my 5G internet battery just died and then we went off. Right. So let me go and show you the creative that I talked about. Because again, what I'm saying is, if you want to sell this how to meet and marry a rich man, and for you to be able to, attract the kind of people who you want, what you should be doing is showing them the end goal of what their life will be when they eventually meet and marry the kind of man they want. So that thing they are chasing, that desire they have, that their goal, bring it closer home and tell them that if you want this, click on this link. Let me show you something. Let me show you the creative, that we are using that is doing so well, right? So this is the creative. Let me show you, and these are the kind of creative that you'll be using, plus the other ones that I've shared before now, of course. But this is one of the kind that you can use that will actually do well. So as you can see here, let this thing load. And as you are seeing here, is just a video of people hanging out by the seaside in one of these islands. And on top of it, you can see how to meet and marry a rich man revealed. Click the link below. This is just simply the video advert, and it is doing extremely well, right? Just this simple video, like there is no too much talking, nothing. Of course you can do different kind of videos, but this one is basically a nice lounging area where they have dropped food in the pool. They'll be eating, see the pool, see the food, see the wine, and then on top of it I now put how to meet and marry a rich man revealed. Click on the link below, and then of course with a nice sound. Make sure that you're going to be using a sound that what is it called, that Instagram or Facebook is not going to ban you for, make reject that your ad because of that kind of particular ad, right? So these were the kind of creative that we are using, that we are doing well. Another one that we used, in fact, let me go and share my screen again, and then from then we'll just come back and close it. Let me show you something. There was one particular creative that we used that is doing very well. If you go to Google, you can actually come to Google here and search let me put it on Google here and search under water proposal in Maldives. If you put it here, come to images, you can see all these pictures. This part, I don't know. But eventually someone now sent us a message to stop using this picture. I think this guy is a Ghanaian in Nigeria. I don't know. You see this picture here? This picture was doing extremely well for us. Oh, why is it blank? Let me go back. This picture you see here. I don't think you guys can see it very well here now. Let me go back to that place it is on Google. This picture you can see here of this guy. Let me go back so you can see it. Let me show you it better on Google. This picture you see here of this guy proposing to his girlfriend on that way. This is actually underwater in Maldives, right? And then we use this picture and say, this could be you, if only you know how to meet and marry the kind of man you want. And if you want to see how this can be you, simply click on the link below. All these pictures here, we use plenty of all this underwater proposal. We can just come here and say, there was another one about a guy and a girl in front of a helicopter. Let me see if that video is still available, if that picture is still available. So you can be using all these kinds of creative. The whole point is that the creative you're going to be using have to call out the problem they are having, the way they are trying to solve their problem. Simple question. In your image advert, it could just be, have you ever prayed for your husband? Are you tired of waiting for your husband? Then simply click here. Let me show you how that can be solved, how you can meet and marry a rich man online within months. Like, call out the problem they are trying to solve exactly the way they are trying to solve them. Some of them are trying to solve it by praying for a husband. Some of them are trying to solve it by paying for sowing seed and doing all those things. Call out that problem, or let your creative image or your creative video be the end of the goal for them. Show them a picture like this of someone proposing to them underwater. Find a very nice picture of a tradition ahead. There was another one, a wedding by the seaside. Wedding by the seaside. Yeah, exactly. All these ones. So, because of course you're trying to say to Nigerians, you can just do black people wedding by the seaside, right? So the whole point is you need to find what represents what it is that these people are. Here you can see it now. You can see all these pictures here. You can choose any of them that is very, very fine, that you know that will be very attractive to them. You know, something that you know that they will want to have. And simply put a question there. This could be you. If you want to find out how to, click the link below, right? You could simply maybe use this picture, or anyone actually. Your caption can just be, this could be you. If you want to find out how to, click on the link below, right? So the whole point of you making sure that you understand what you're selling from the way I've shared with you guys from the beginning till now is to make sure that your creative speaks to the soul of the problem you're trying to solve for these people. Very, 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 very important, right? Because again, if you now come to, let's say, maybe you come to your, if you now come to, let me say, for instance, let me check your landing page here. If you come to this place and then do, because if you go to your landing page now, which is what you now have, if you come here, you will notice that almost everything going on here is trying to paint that dream picture to them or reinforce the problem they are trying to have, right? And you are trying to tell them that you are going to be in control, because remember, the biggest supply and demand gap in this problem you're trying to solve for them is that they are not in control. When they pray, they have to wait. When they sow seed, they have to wait. When they go and hang out in all these private lounges and expensive hotels and clubs, they'll have to wait for a man to approach them. And women are tired of waiting. They want to feel like they are in charge, and you don't blame them. Any dream that is worth chasing shouldn't be, you shouldn't just be relying on chance for you to wait for this dream to come to pass. We all feel better when we are in charge of chasing our dream and making sure that it happens. And that is what all these sales letter here assured them. He said, how to meet and marry a rich man within months by simply using your social media handles. Apply this and be rest assured that within the next 7 days, you can have about 5 men in your DM wanting to take you out and spoil you with money. And guess what? The honest truth is that in this digital project of how to meet and marry a rich man, if they apply everything, because there is a detailed step-by-step video showing them how to use their social media to do all these things, and if they do it exactly the same way that we are showing them, then of course, they are assured that they will get exactly the kind of man that, will marry them within the shortest possible period of time, right? So this is the detailed step-by-step template we've been using to sell this product and still to sell it now, and we are still making a lot of money. So one thing I want you to take away from here is you need to, in your own way, so that in your marketing, in your conversation on WhatsApp and everywhere, these things can reflect. What problem are these people trying to solve? How are they solving it? How much are they spending to solve it? Again, also a very important is it profitable to people already solving this problem for them? And what is the biggest demand and supply gap that we've noticed in this market? And the biggest supply and demand gap we've noticed in this market is that they rely on chance. All these things we shared from the 5 key questions we asked to this last one, they are waiting on chance. They don't want to feel like they have to wait. They want to be in charge, which is what the digital product of how to meet and marry a rich man does for them. Communicate this to them in your WhatsApp, in your chat, when they're asking you questions and having objections. Are you sure this will work? Yes, this will work, because I can guarantee that if you apply everything in this thing, within the next 5 to 7 days, you have people sending you a message on your WhatsApp, because you're actually going to be the one in charge. Unlike this other time that you have to pray and wait for God to make something happen. This one, you are the one, in charge of how this will work. And I've shared the creative that we are using to run this, advert for this product that is making it sell out easily. You have access to the, sales letter, the landing page. So you don't have anything that will stop you other than you doing this same thing, everything that I've just shared to you on how we are selling this digital product easily. And remember again, when you must have done all these things, taking them all through this whole sales funnel journey like we discussed yesterday, and it seems like a lot of them are not buying. Remember again what we talked about yesterday, repeat this same pattern, which is what you do, what happens when a customer goes through your funnel and did not buy, right? Remember, like I said yesterday, all of these things are tied to each other. Yes, that's why it's a series. That's why they are in parts. So we can't spend all the time talking about what we talked about yesterday, right? Yesterday we talked about what to do when you use this kind of video creative that I just shown you, or image creative. Somebody came into your WhatsApp, went to your landing page, went to your sales page after reading "Do Not Buy." What do you do? We already discussed that yesterday. So every day, tomorrow we're going to be talking about how we sell another digital product from the beginning to the end, just like I did yesterday and I have done for you today. What we are doing in these 7 days of sales challenge is to keep showing you how we are selling each of these digital products you have. Yesterday we showed you how we said how the Daily Incomes Academy program. Today we've just shared with you how we are selling the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man digital products. Tomorrow we'll share another one, and by the end of this program, you will get to see, we'll have some gifts, some offers to you guys for some of you that will begin to implement everything that will teach you here, to the point that some of you will be able to win a car when you begin to implement everything we teach you here. Why are we doing that? Why are we going to be giving you gifts? Why are we going to be giving you 1 million, 2 million? Why are we going to be able to provide, give you a car gift? For the simple reason that we understand something, which is, I'm now closing. We understand something, which is that if we share all these strategies and principles with you and you not take action, your life will never change. Which is why the title of this sales challenge is How I Make 1 to 10 Sales Online Daily, the strategies and principles and actions that will change your life. If you do not implement, your life will still remain the same. Again, every day I come here and I show you how many sales we've made for the day. Today, again, if this is like after 9, if I check today, I'm very sure that we must have made at least more than 10 sales selling all our different products today on the internet. And what we are doing is basically the same thing that I'm sharing with you here. Nothing different. This same thing that I'm sharing with you here is the same thing we are using to sell different of all our digital products. Today is 22nd, right? If I start counting sales that have come in today, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for just one particular product in itself. And if I check other emails, I would have seen some other orders that must have come in for that particular product. So if we can do it, you can do it. And you can only do it by taking actions. So today that we've spent time to show you how we are selling the How to Meet and Marry a Rich Man digital products, go ahead and begin to implement and take the actions that we've just shown you how we are selling the product. Do the same thing for the Daily Incomes Academy program that we shared with you yesterday. And on that note, that will be the end for today's class, but it's open now for questions. So if you have any questions, ask me in the chat box, drop your questions, let me answer your questions, and then we'll call it a day for today. And we'll continue again. Tomorrow, we're still going to pick another different digital product in your marketplace and show you how we are selling them and how you can also sell them. So your questions, please, in the chat box. I'm listening. I'm waiting for your questions. And if you don't have any questions, come to the group and tell me what you've learned. What did you learn differently today on how to sell the Meet and Marry Rich Man product? And what are you going to implement, right? Also, tell me what you learned yesterday on how to sell the Daily Incomes Academy program. What new did you learn? What new strategy did you learn? What insights did you get? And what are you going to implement to start selling that product, right? So on that note, if you guys don't have any questions now, that will be it for today. Remember, if you have questions, you can always ask in the group any day, anytime. Thank you guys for showing up. Tomorrow promises to also be very exciting and insightful. See you guys tomorrow. But this night, see you in the group. Drop a comment for me in the group. Let me know the insights you get, the strategies you learned, the principle you got from this night and what you are going to implement. See you guys on the group. And thank you once again for showing up.